what makes a man good on a regular people level? Like, take away the money. Like, what makes a good valuable man? Not perfect, but a good man. A lot of people.
Well, I think it starts with kindness and not just niceness, not just being nice, just not just doing
Yeah,
nice things, just being kind. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's just like the first step. You know what I mean? Just not being
Mm-hmm.
just a bad person. Spirituality, uh, being chivalrous and things like that, being a good father, being dependable, being a man of your word.
Yeah,
I think a lot of these things transition between males and females. You know what I mean? If you're a good person, you're a good person. Some values,
yeah,
being a hard worker isn't gender specific. You know what I mean? Being
yeah.
honest, being dependable, being a good mother or father, that's not gender specific. You know what I mean? I think a lot of those qualities that make someone good are universal qualities, and both sexes can meet those goals, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. That's self-explanatory. Like,
So, but I'm guessing what I'm saying is, how you hear these, there be a lot of women on Facebook talking about how dudes be dogging them out. But I wonder, do they have when they ever meet a good dude, do they know the difference between a good dude and a dude that's dogging them out? You know what I'm saying?
listen, you can
Most
you
of
can be you can be a good man or a good woman and just be terrible in relationships.
That's true.
It's
yeah,
really
or sometimes it's hard for it's sometimes it's not their fault because they don't have a male figure, a positive, respectable male figure that they looked up to that showed them like how a man's supposed to
Yeah,
be, a good man's supposed to
yeah,
be.
for sure.
So since they don't have that, they don't have it. They don't go to church, so they don't see it at church. They don't have family members like that. So what they turn to, they turn to TV, they turn to rap and all that, and they think that certain guys is on TV claiming that they got these kids and they holding these kids taking these pictures with that they are a good father,
Right.
they are a good man, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it is. They don't have anybody that they can look up to like when you meet a girl that has a two-parent household and she love her dad, then that lets
Yeah.
you know the type of man that she's gonna marry because
Oh,
she's seen it
most
growing
definitely.
up, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the type of man that she wanted her life for her kids as well. But when you
Yeah,
have
and
some,
she has
hmm,
that standard. You know what I mean, and
yeah,
Yeah.
not just seeing it superficially. You know what I mean. She knows what goes on behind the scenes. You know what I mean.
exactly, yeah,
Like Mike always talking about emotions, right? You see these so-called good men or they stable men, but they don't get. And men do this too. They don't give me butterflies. And if a
yeah,
man got a good woman and she don't make you know, she don't make it jump when I come in. I just don't want her like that. You know what I mean? If you don't have these, if she's not drop dead gorgeous to you, or she's got this certain parts of her aren't appealing. You know what I mean? She ain't got the BBL look. She's not giving you those butterflies. She's just giving me regular woman butt or regular woman face. You know what I mean? This and that. And I'm not getting these butterflies. You pass up a good people because you're not feeling something in your stomach. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The fairy tale, Peter Pan, fairy
crap,
dust.
yeah,
I don't hear music when she come in the room. When he touched me, I don't get the chills. You know what I mean? So he's not the one for you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You gonna throw him back and go back to the drawing board and keep rummaging through the recycling bin trying to
yep,
find the one that makes you feel something in your heart at first sight. So
mm-hmm,
And this
yeah,
and this is what I say to any young woman, any woman that's looking for a husband. What are your expectations um, dealing with dealing with a man? Like, if you get a good man, do you expect him to be with you and not make a mistake at all? Like, every day you deal with him is good. It's never like, I think some people think it's marriage is just all up, there's no down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how
yeah,
hard it is not to offend somebody.
oh yeah, oh
I
yeah,
mean, you could be trying your best to do the right thing and you still offend somebody. It's crazy, but how
yep,
life works, you know what I'm saying? But
mm-hmm,
there are some people who think that you're supposed to go the whole time without offending. That's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Because we're two different people. You know what I'm saying?
What
And
is
I
your
think that's
advice?
something to think about.
What is
Huh?
your advice
Do
for a
you
person that
realistic?
thinks like that?
I mean, sometimes it's realistic expectations because everybody has offended somebody. But some
So
people don't see that they. Go ahead.
are you saying lower their standards to a
No,
realistic
no, no, not
standard
lower
for
the standard,
themselves?
but have realistic, like be realistic about it. Because sometimes people that's like that, they don't realize you may have just offended somebody yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
know,
there are people you deal with in life. You can do like 10 great things, but the one thing that you mess up on, you offend them that day, that stands out more than the things you do consistently. That's
yeah,
good. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think that's the same thing what happened with Gail King. This person was
Yeah,
probably all good, but she can't let go of that
yeah,
$4,000. They
Yep.
checked all
yeah,
these boxes. That four
Yep.
thousand dollars won't leave her head. They got 9 things good, but that
Yep.
4,000 is
Yep.
bothering them.
and
But
and that cost.
yeah,
what I say to
yeah.
people, when I say realistic expectations or just being real, just being real about what to expect or whatever. So I do this. All the relationships in your life, not the romantic relationships, your mom, your dad, your
Yeah,
brother, your cousin. Think about your favorite person, your grandma,
yeah,
my brother, even y'all. That's probably the closest person to me. We talk all the time. We agree probably on 90% of whatever. But still, we do have our bad days. We disagree. I
right,
love my mom.
exactly, right.
I've been around my mama since I was born. But we don't get our relationship has rocks. So you think if I got a rock with sometimes my relationship with my mom is rocky, my relationship with my brother is rocky, my relationship with my son is rocky sometimes, you think I'm gonna meet you and in 2 years or 5 years and 10 years and we're not gonna have the rocky times? I've been
Oh
dealing with
yeah,
my brother for 40 years and
oh
we
Yeah.
still
for real.
have those times. So you
Yeah,
gotta look at it like that. You get
yeah,
into it with your mama. Of course, you won't get into it with me. You get into it with your brother. You get into it with your son. You get into it with your favorite cousin in the whole world. Y'all be into it. Y'all had fights. Y'all had fist fights. And y'all still cousins. Y'all still family. Y'all still friends. The
mm-hmm.
same thing is going to
Yeah,
happen in your marriage.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hopefully y'all not fist fighting, but y'all gonna have the same because it's no different than any other relationship that you would have with any other person because that person
right,
is a person.
Yeah.
right.
And I believe too, like what y'all was saying. I think y'all kind of disagree with it, but I kind of agree with it. Don't have high expectations when you come into a relationship with somebody. Like I had different women back in the day that was just like, you're this, you're that, you're this, and you that, and I'm like, don't give me all that because you just a good man. Don't give me all of that because when I make a mistake or mess up or have a bad day, then you'll sit there and say, oh, you I would never expect for you to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
in that
Yeah.
case,
I want that pedal.
don't give me
Yeah.
all. Yeah, don't do that. Like you gotta bring it down some, and then like and understand that we're all human. You know, I'm not a god. You're not a god either. We're human. So we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
We all fall short sometimes. So just take it
Yes.
from face value what it is, and then we learn and grow with each other.
And I guess
That's
what
what.
I'm saying, good men are not perfect, but they're
Nope.
good. You know what I'm
But
saying?
they're good.
Some
I mean,
dudes,
just like people. But I
And they
want
it's
to
can be.
like
hear
you
from
like,
like all of us are married, right? Or have been married. You know what I mean? So what appeal is somebody who's never been married? How do you perceive? What is your expectation of marriage on the outside looking in?
Um, First of all, you got to go in there and just be honest, man. Just be yourself. Don't put on the facade. Like if I'm ratchet, so I'm gonna listen to ratchet music. I'm do ratchet stuff, hang with
Mhm.
my ratchet friends, and do hood rat stuff. But I'm still gonna be a family person. Like you say, if me and my mom ain't, it was a point in time me and my mama didn't talk for like 10 years. When you go into a relationship, you be like, I'm carrying baggage. But if you really need to let go of all that baggage before you try to get in a relationship or be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be with a
Yeah,
person,
for sure.
because it's gonna pop back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna pop back up. But I tell anybody, man, just be honest. That's it. You know,
Yeah, I
like
think
I
like I
said,
tell my wife, I try to, I owe it to y'all to give y'all the best version of me. You know what I'm saying? That I got to work on daily. It ain't gonna ever be perfect, but I gotta give y'all the best. Like I've
Yeah.
told my kids, I messed up. I want them to see the humanity. Like
Mhm.
sometimes, like dudes that never see their dad apologize for nothing. How do
Oh,
you think your son gonna be? You know what I'm saying? This dude gonna think he's Superman when he get older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he gonna have the
Them be the
inherited.
dudes.
Yep.
Them be the dudes that say I can cheat on my girl, but if my girl cheat on me, it's the end of the world kind of dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know
That
what
Not
I'm
to
saying?
be so. But I'm asking both of y'all two question. Maybe name two things, quick hitters, about your expectation before you get married, and then the reality being married. Just two things that maybe the two things that was further than what you expected.
Oh, I can tell you that. I can tell you more than that. But
I
I
know,
think the
yeah. I
main
mean,
thing,
this is
yeah,
not the really
yeah. I'm not
topic,
gonna be all day, but yeah. I
but we've
think
been
the
talking about
main thing was
expectations.
the main thing was understanding that both of y'all operate differently. You have similarities, but there's differences too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand. I know I'm not an easy person to live with. I mean, I understand that from the front, from the get go. You know what I'm saying? Then, as a man, understanding how to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? Of your
Yeah.
house. If you haven't been taught that, you have to learn how to be the leader of your house. Am I saying you got to be Fidel Castro? No, I'm not saying that. But understanding that there got to be some diplomacy. You don't have to handle everything with drama. The reason why I say that is because sometimes if you go to the drama, something can happen in 5 seconds that you can't get back. You know what I'm saying?
So
That's why you have to be
leadership, like
diplomatic.
you're talking about
Yeah,
leadership,
leadership.
right? So what was the expectation of how leadership was going to be like before? Like
That's
like
what I'm
what was the
saying.
expectation?
I had to learn like how to manage the house, like how to talk to her like as the leader of the house, like how to deal with her, how to deal with the kids. Like you don't understand like dealing with kids like every day. You know how you see your parents or somebody with kids and you be like, man, it look easy when you're looking at it, but when you're doing it every day, you know what I'm saying? You're paying the bills, you're making sure everything's straight. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, the tire go flat. Where do you go when the tire go flat?
To
You know what
daddy.
I'm saying?
So
Then you go fix it flat. Go ahead.
you saying your expectation?
Being able to manage stuff in your head, like where to get stuff fixed there for the house,
So
where
you
to get
saying your
stuff done there. Go ahead.
expectation of management was like, hey, this is gonna be a breeze. You know what I mean? I'm the man. She's gonna follow me. And then when you got in the game, it's like, oh, this is not. This is more of a managing thing versus than Fidel Castro dictatorship. I'm managing
Right.
my house like a corporation, and it's a lot more diplomacy involved versus
Right.
what I expected.
Cause we went to marriage counter, so it kind of helped a little bit, but I don't go into stuff trying to. I just learned that from being younger. You can't go into it 100% thinking it's gonna go your way because you got another human involved. You know what I'm saying? I've always kind of thought like that. So you got to be prepared for anything. You can't just like say it's gonna go like A B C D E F G because it don't work like that with other humans involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
That was a
you got to
great
be
example.
prepared for A or B. You got to be prepared for A or B. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, CD too.
And I always tell young people, don't go into a divorce. I mean, not divorce, but a marriage saying, if this happened, I'm out. Because
Yeah.
that might happen. You can't go into marriage like that.
Hey, but it's really, really important that the standard and boundaries of what you're not going to really tolerate spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally.
But we talked about that last podcast, though. Some things, when you're growing with a person, you have to grow with that person because they might not have gotten to
Now,
that
it's some
point
things
yet.
you can't accept. If he going up beside your head, don't accept it.
I
Don't say
understand
God
that.
working with him.
I understand that's extreme. I'm talking about,
No,
but I'm
I
talking
mean
about as far as
but that's
personality goes.
reality. That's the reality. Extremes are
But
reality.
I knew I wasn't gonna be abusive though,
No,
so
I
I
mean,
knew
of
that
course.
wasn't
I
a
mean,
thing for
that's
me.
for
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So
For sure.
you have a standard of manhood that's not even on the table for you in your marriage. But there's not even people we know. If she get out of line, I'm a papa. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say that's unrealistic to say
Oh, no,
that
I'm not
that's the
saying
thing.
that either.
You have to set those boundaries. But what about you, Terrence? What's something you kind of expected in a marriage, and then when you got in it, the reality was different from what you expected?
Pretty much, we was together 2 years before we got married. So being ourselves, just being
Yeah.
comfortable with who we are with each other. Then got into the marriage and realized um, things have to change.
Yeah.
And I really think that with me getting married, that helped me to learn a lot more about myself, like
Yeah.
how I
For
am
sure.
and the things that I need to change, because it's
Yeah.
not just about me anymore. It's
Right.
about my wife. Now it's about my wife and my daughter. So,
Right.
but yeah, when before we got married, I mean, it was a breeze. So it was cool. We having fun. We going on vacations and things like that. You get married,
Yeah.
then things tend to change because us men, when we get married, we have a responsibility. We
Right.
have a duty. So it's
Yeah.
just like, and that went on with me learning like a lot of things that I had to change within myself. The way I approach different subjects, the way I talk to her. Like sometimes I'll
Right.
raise my voice, and I'm not raising my voice at you because I'm mad. I raise my voice because I really am passionate about what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
she had to learn it
Right.
because I'm actually a loud person. So from the
Yeah.
outside looking in, folks will be thinking that I'm yelling, and I'm not
Yeah.
really yelling. I'm loud, but I'm just passionate
Right.
about what I'm saying. Either the dispute or little argument that we might have or whatever. But she
Right.
understood that, and I had to take the time to let her know, like, hey, when we have these discussions, I might get loud, but I'm not mad or I'm not yelling at you. And you can say that, but they had to take the time to get to understand it and know that, like,
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
with me meditating like 2 or 3 times a day, that kind of helps it out a little bit. But that was the most thing. It was just like I'm thinking that things would have still been the same when we got married, but things had to change because
Right.
we're one now. See, we was playing that little game at first, hey, we
Yeah.
boyfriend and
Yeah.
girlfriend, now we
Exactly.
engaged. It's gonna be like this forever.
It's just
And
like marriage.
yeah, it's like we married, we living together, and this is this. But yeah, things change. You got responsibilities and things like that. But uh, with learning myself and learning her, and she learning me, and the things that we had to change, it's even better now. So
I always tell somebody young, like, you can't be fully prepared for marriage. It's one of those things you just have to do it.
Yeah,
But
true.
you have to know, as the leader, though, whatever comes our way, we gonna handle this with diplomacy. You know what I'm saying?
together. You gotta
We
have to do
gonna
that
handle it,
together.
but isn't it with diplomacy? Because you can never be fully prepared for marriage, living with
No,
another person. You
no.
just can't. I mean, I wish I could give somebody a pamphlet and say this, this, and this, but it won't work. It's just one of the things you just have to do because everybody different. You know what
But
I'm
I
saying?
will say, you expect this, and how to handle it, because it's gonna get rough and rocky.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But if you got the mindset that you're gonna handle it when it comes, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, as long as you understand, like both of y'all, the two people understand that, what I'm saying, we're gonna work it out regardless, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
it ain't
think
every
it
man for
works.
itself. You know what I mean? Like, ooh,
Right, you know
let
what
me
I'm
get
saying?
my
So,
stuff together because if this
like, if
ship,
you struggle with forgiveness, marriage is gonna kick
Marriage
your
ain't for
butt,
you.
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah, it ain't for you.
Sacrifice.
You don't want to give
Please.
nobody grace, marriage is gonna kick your butt, man.
and
Look.
then
You know,
because
you
because
hold
fake
grudges,
grace,
marriage is gonna kick your butt, you know what I'm
because
saying?
fake grace will eat you up. It don't do nothing to
Yeah,
the other person. You say
Yeah.
you
yeah,
forgive them, but you the ones thinking about that $4,000 every night you go to bed. You
Mhm.
see him, you know what I mean. Every time she touch you, you're thinking about, ooh, you know what I mean. That $4,000, you know what I mean. You can't
Yeah.
really get over stuff, you know what I mean, and
yeah.
it'll eat
It's
your
about
mind.
sacrifices too. It is. That's one thing in marriage. You're gonna have to sacrifice.
Yeah,
You
for sure.
But
you
this,
gonna
no, and I
sacrifice.
don't like when people say that about marriage. because that's life. So when you
Yeah,
marry,
yeah.
life happens to both of you,
Mhm.
and things just happen in life. But now you're married, it happens to two people in a kind of
Well,
same capacity.
well, see, yeah, it's part of life. But when you know, when my life was going on and I wasn't married, I didn't have to sacrifice nothing. You feel what I'm
You don't
saying?
have to sacrifice
So
nothing.
Right.
it's
Nope.
I,
We
I
just
got
talked
to
about that. If a girl
sacrifice
asks
for
you for gas money,
myself.
you
You
don't
know
have
what
to
I
give her
mean?
no gas money if you don't know her for 2 months. It's not your wife. You know what I'm saying? I ain't
yeah,
sacrificing
yeah.
nothing.
But I'm
You know
I'm
what I'm
talking about
saying?
like
I
I'm
had to
getting
make hard choices. You know what I
I'm
mean?
giving like a
Golden
situation.
noodles or pork and beans.
Yeah, I'm giving like a example as far as like she might want to go to a play or something that I don't
Yeah.
never
Right.
want to do.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
since she
Exactly.
want me to go and I love her, I'm gonna go ahead and go. To me, that's a sacrifice.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I just sat in a lot of hot church services. Like, I mean, I'm just just dripping down my head. It was like, where is this church?
And
They ain't got
then
no
you gotta
air.
know how to
This
make deals. That's
summertime.
the thing too. My wife. Let's
Mm,
make a deal. Let's play the game. You want me to go to the play? Let's make a deal.
there you go.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Marriage.
You want something? I want something. You want something? I
You
want
gotta have
something.
fun. You gotta have
Yeah, you
fun
want
with
to
it.
add to the menu? You want me to add to my menu? I'm gonna add something to my on your menu. You know what I'm
Marriage is
saying?
not transactional. People don't learn from this man.
Man.
Hey, that's why she want me to go to law school. That's why she said I need to go to law school. Being in like Johnny Cochran. All right, next one.